It's time for our daily dose of cope. We have some Dear Don letters to get through, and they make my heart go pitter patter because I love to see them suffering. I love to see them laying in the mess that they pooped in their own bed, and I really would like for them to smush it into their own faces. Let's get into some of these Dear Don letters. We have an amazing progression from this man. We're just going to call him Dom. So Dom says, the people have spoken, no more trans crap, and Democrats are the racists now. So that is what he was saying back in November. He was talking about this shirt, never surrender, and this man making this hand signal. Then Dom is responding to Victor. Victor says, don't know who needs to see this, but here's a reminder of how good Gavin Newsom is and how he eats Republicans alive. And to that, Dom says, sorry, buddy, the people have spoken. People don't want to unalive their babies and no new wars. Hamas just surrendered and Russia and Ukraine are about to come to peace. They are? Did they? Did they? What did Harris and Joe do? The world was burning around them and the world is still burning currently, so he didn't actually fix anything. Now Dom has a Dear Don letter. He wrote this back on April 21st. Those other ones were from November. He says, Dear Dom, I voted for you and I still support you, but my wife came here legally through teacher exchange program. We got married and right after we tried to get a lawyer for her to become a citizen. She got an email today saying she might lose her job. I understand you're trying to make America great again, which is awesome, but her losing her job and getting sent back when I'm trying to make her a citizen after marriage. $10,000 for paperwork. Please don't punish people that are trying to come here legally. I voted for you and think you're a great man, but I'm getting affected. If you could not send my wife back to her country, she was trying to do the right thing. I respect you, but we barely get a notice. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't want my wife to go back. Please, please, pretty please, with sugar on top, Dear Don. Like he's Santa Claus. This is hilarious. I love it when they write these Dear Dom letters. Now we have Shark Park Patrol commenting on Donald Trump's post, saying tariffs are paid by American companies. No one else pays those duties except American companies. China does not pay any duties or tariffs, if you want to call him that. The companies paying these new tariffs or companies that made it through COVID and a lot of really disastrous decisions made by the government. Remember, American business was driven out of this country, EPA regulations, government regulations, and unions. An example of regulation is jewelry, which is an industry that I'm involved in, is not allowed to be a cottage in industry. What? Not allowed to be a cottage in industry, which means workers cannot take home and do piecework, but it's okay for people to do computer work at home. Doesn't make sense. I sell cheap souvenir jewelry to surf shops and gift shops. I really doubt anyone's going to string little tiny shell beads for a living here in the United States. But just so there's no mistake about it, the only people paying tariffs are American companies. Hello, hello, hello. This will lead to higher prices at retail eventually within months. I voted for Trump 3 times and I love everything he does. But these tariffs are basically putting me out of business after 40 years. After 40 years, you still voted for this man. He said he was going to put tariffs on things and he's done it. You got what you voted for. Why are you complaining? The next Dear Dom letter is from James. You are doing such a horrific job. I know he's the coolest person, I get it, but he's really effing with the stock market. I have confidence that you know what you're doing, and I have confidence that I know your motives, so I'm not panicking. But you've done a bad job so far, man, without a doubt. Bad job. Bad. I still have confidence that I know what you're doing and confidence in you, but bad job. All right, so we have some progression of tweets from this man named Jim. So Elon Musk posted on November 6th saying the future is going to be so lit. So you see Trump talking to Leon Scum and it's going to be hot. And Jim says, do your thing. Clean this swamp of inept, lazy, do-nothing Democrats. Oh, I'm sorry, demon rats. Because all Democrats are demon rats. Here's another Musk post from November 6th. It's morning in America. He is saluting the flag. And Jim says, thank you, Elon. Drain the swamp of mismanagement, misinformation, and over-budget programs. Then Jim posts this, the Trump effect. Dow pops 1,400 points, heads for best day since 2022 after Trump clinches White House. This was November 6th. People are happy. Dow soars 1,500 points. Yay. On January 20th, Trump cleanup begins. Trump inauguration, day one, executive orders target Alaska energy, asylum, DEI efforts. They are happy to make sure that people that are brown and gay and women get out of here. They are so happy. Now here's Jim. Jim is melting down. He is now talking to Don. Dear Dom, I am losing my savings. I support and voted for you twice, but help. Dow tumbles 1,100 points as Trump's POW attacks add to investors' concerns. Dear Dom, I'm losing my savings. I'm a Trump voter and supporter. Help. Again, the same post. And then at the bottom, you're unaliving us. My savings are being destroyed. I voted for you again. Help. I voted for you to get rid of those other people. Those other people didn't deserve jobs and everything. I deserve my savings. I do. I deserve it. Now let's talk about Nick Huber. He's at Sweaty Startup, so he is a business. He says, I was pro-tariffs until about 30 of our clients at somewhere.com canceled searches over the past 3 weeks. Hiring freezes all over the place. Hit me in the pocketbook already. Remove tariffs. So he knew that tariffs were coming because Trump campaigned on it, and he was pro-tariffs. He was like, this is going to be good. But now that it's hit his own money, he's like, remove them. I'm tariff-fied. He is now a panicking. Sean says, just wait. There is nothing like personal experience to teach people the ramification of bad policy. And to that, Nick said, long term, it will be good. He says remove them, but he also says long term, it will be good. We can find exceptional talent for 80% less than U.S. equivalents, sales, operations, marketing, customer service, finance, tech, engineering, and more. But near-term companies aren't extending offers right now. So he's saying it's going to be good long term, but he also said remove them. So these people are talking themselves into a circle. They're talking themselves into a pretzel. Steven says, why would you assume long-term it would be good? Regardless of the goals of tariffs, as long as they are in play, domestic talent will be more expensive. And then Amy says, they have to keep saying that because reality is too much to handle, especially knowing they voted for this. CK says, assuming they don't leave for greener pastures, large brain drain going on right now. G Money says, still making the same stupid assumption like he did about short-term impacts of tariffs, still FAFO happened. Murray says, cannot help stupid. Vince says, tariffs mean short-term pain for long-term poverty. Exactly. Tariffs mean short-term pain for long-term poverty. These people are the opposite of smart. Now, this article was pretty interesting. It says, in Chinatown, New York, shopkeepers are distraught. They voted for Trump hoping for lower prices, not the other way around. They voted for Trump. This is very interesting. I didn't know that Chinese people were voting for Trump. In Lower Manhattan's Chinatown district along Canal Street, the announcement of the Trump administration's 145% tariffs on Chinese goods came as a shock. The effects of this new trade war could force many businesses and importers to close their doors. He said he was going to do this. Why would they vote for him? I don't get this one. Chinese people voting for him, and he specifically targeted China during his campaign. A few days after Donald Trump announced additional tariffs of 125% on imported goods from China, in addition to the 20% rate announced a little earlier, local officials and business owners held a press conference outside a famous dim sum restaurant in New York's Chinatown neighborhood to warn of the local consequences of this trade war. We've always operated with a reduced profit margin because we operate in a working class neighborhood, explained Karen Liu, whose family owns Grand Tea and Imports, a shop that sells teas, incense, and porcelain. We're a small business. We don't have lawyers. We don't have import specialists. So when the tariffs suddenly went up to 145%, we felt completely overwhelmed and helpless. This rate very directly threatens our ability to resupply. I'm going to skip down to this. People voted to reduce inflation and lower costs. We didn't expect the opposite result, Chen said. Only the billionaire club can get exemptions, not small businesses like us. Electronics were exempted from tariffs because the CEO of Apple can go to the White House and complain. Why these people thought that they were going to get exemptions is beyond me. Anyway, face, meat, leopards.